Our planet is beautiful. It has vast oceans, lush forests, and towering mountains. But did you know that some parts of our world are covered in ice all year round? These icy regions, called the poles, are like giant mirrors reflecting sunlight back into space. They help to keep our planet cool. However, these icy regions are in danger. The ice is melting at an alarming rate. This is a serious problem that affects us all. As the ice melts, it causes the sea levels to rise, which can lead to flooding in coastal areas. The melting ice also disrupts the balance of our planet's climate, leading to more extreme weather events. We need to act now to protect our planet and its icy regions. The future of our planet depends on it. In the next few sections, we'll explore the causes and consequences of ice melt, and most importantly, what we can do to help. Join me on this journey to understand and combat the ice melt disaster. Together, we can make a difference. Have you ever noticed how ice cubes melt faster on a hot day? It's a simple observation, but it tells us a lot about how heat affects ice. The same thing is happening to our planet, but on a much larger scale and with more serious consequences. The Earth is getting warmer, and this increase in temperature is affecting our environment in many ways. This warming is mainly caused by human activities that release harmful gases into the atmosphere. These activities include industrial processes, transportation, and energy production. These gases, called greenhouse gases, trap heat from the sun, creating a warming effect similar to a greenhouse. Think of it like wrapping an extra blanket around yourself. The more blankets you add, the warmer you get. It makes you feel warmer, just like how greenhouse gases make our planet warmer. One of the biggest sources of these greenhouse gases is burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. These fuels are used in many aspects of our daily lives. We burn these fuels to power our cars, generate electricity, and run factories. This constant burning releases a significant amount of greenhouse gases. While these activities make our lives easier and more convenient, they come at a cost to our environment. They release harmful gases that warm our planet, contributing to climate change and global warming. As the Earth gets warmer, the ice at the poles starts to melt. This melting ice contributes to rising sea levels and other environmental issues. This is like leaving an ice cube out in the sun. It's simple science. The warmer it gets, the faster the ice melts. The warmer it gets, the faster the ice melts. This accelerated melting is a clear indicator of the changes happening to our planet. This melting ice is a clear sign that our planet is in trouble. If we don't take action, the consequences could be severe. We need to find ways to reduce our impact and protect our icy regions from further harm. Using renewable energy sources and reducing emissions are crucial steps in this effort. Imagine a bathtub filled to the brim, water perfectly still and balanced. Now imagine adding more water to it, drop by drop, until it starts to overflow. What happens? The water spills over, right? It can't hold any more. That's exactly what's happening to our oceans right now. As the ice melts at the poles, it adds more water to the oceans, just like adding water to that full bathtub. This extra water causes the sea level to rise inch by inch, year by year. Just like the bathtub, the rising sea level can cause flooding in coastal areas, affecting homes and infrastructure. Scientists estimate that the global sea level has risen by about 8 inches since the late 19th century, a significant change over time. That's about the height of a small book, but its impact is far from small. It may not seem like much, but even a small rise in sea level can have big consequences, eroding coastlines and altering landscapes. Rising sea levels can erode coastlines, contaminate freshwater sources, and displace entire communities, creating environmental refugees. Think of all the people living in coastal cities and towns around the world. Millions of lives at stake. Their homes, schools, and businesses are all at risk from rising sea levels, threatening their way of life. It's a serious threat that we need to address urgently, with immediate and sustained action. Reducing our greenhouse gas emissions is crucial to slow down the rate of ice melt and sea level rise, protecting our future. We need to act now to protect our coastlines and the people who live there, ensuring a safer world for generations to come. Have you noticed that the weather seems to be getting more extreme? Hotter summers, colder winters, stronger storms, and more frequent droughts. These are all signs of climate change, and the melting ice at the poles plays a big role in these changes. The ice at the poles helps regulate our planet's temperature. It reflects sunlight back into space, keeping the Earth cool. As the ice melts, it exposes darker surfaces like the ocean, which absorb more heat. This leads to a warmer planet and disrupts weather patterns. The melting ice also affects ocean currents, which play a crucial role in distributing heat around the globe. Disruptions in these currents can lead to extreme weather events such as heat waves, floods, and droughts. These events can have devastating consequences for people, wildlife, and the environment. It's a clear sign that climate change is real and it's happening now. We need to take action to reduce our impact on the planet and mitigate the effects of climate change. Section 5. Life on thin ice, polar bears and penguins in peril. The melting ice at the poles is not just a concern for humans, it's also a serious threat to the amazing animals that call these icy regions home. The rapid changes in their environment are forcing these creatures to adapt quickly, often with dire consequences. Animals like polar bears, penguins, seals, and many other species are deeply affected by the loss of their icy habitats, and walruses rely on the ice for their survival. The ice provides a platform for resting, hunting, and socializing. They use it for hunting, breeding, and raising their young. Without stable ice, their ability to perform these essential activities is severely compromised. For example, polar bears are powerful predators that depend on sea ice to hunt seals. The ice acts as a crucial hunting ground where they can catch their prey. As the ice melts, they have to travel further and work harder to find food. This increased effort can lead to exhaustion and decreased survival rates. This can lead to starvation and exhaustion, especially for mothers with cubs. The young ones are particularly vulnerable as they rely heavily on their mothers for sustenance and protection. Similarly, penguins rely on sea ice for breeding and raising their chicks. The ice provides a safe and stable environment for their nests. Melting ice can reduce the availability of nesting sites and make it harder for penguins to find food. The changing conditions can disrupt their breeding cycles and reduce chick survival rates. The melting ice is pushing these iconic animals to the brink of survival. They are facing unprecedented challenges that threaten their existence. They are losing their habitat, their food sources, and their way of life. The very foundation of their existence is being eroded by the warming climate. We have a responsibility to protect these animals and their fragile ecosystems. The polar regions are delicate and vital parts of our planet's health. By addressing climate change and reducing our impact on the planet, we can help ensure the survival of these magnificent creatures. Our actions today will determine the future of these species and the health of our planet. Section 6. A global crisis, the human cost of melting ice. The melting ice at the poles may seem like a distant problem, but its consequences are felt by people all over the world. As we've discussed, rising sea levels threaten coastal communities, and extreme weather events can disrupt agriculture, infrastructure, and human health. In some parts of the world, people are already being forced to leave their homes due to rising sea levels. These climate refugees face an uncertain future, displaced from their communities and cultures. Extreme weather events like floods, droughts, and heat waves can also lead to food and water shortages, economic losses, and health problems. The human cost of climate change is real and it's growing. It's a global crisis that requires a global response. We need to work together to reduce our impact on the planet, adapt to the changing climate, and support those most affected by these changes. Section 7. Turning the tide. What can we do? The good news is that we can still make a difference. We can all be part of the solution to the ice melt disaster. It starts with understanding the problem and taking action to reduce our impact on the planet. One of the most important things we can do is to reduce our carbon footprint. Our carbon footprint is the amount of greenhouse gases we produce through our actions. We can reduce our carbon footprint by using less energy at home, choosing sustainable transportation options, and supporting businesses that are committed to environmental sustainability. Here are a few simple things you can do to make a difference. Turn off lights when you leave a room. Unplug electronic devices when not in use. Walk, bike, or take public transportation whenever possible. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Choose energy-efficient appliances. Plant a tree. Section 8. Every little bit helps. Small actions, big impact. You might be thinking, what difference can I make? I'm just one person. But the truth is, every little bit helps. When millions of people make small changes in their daily lives, it can have a huge positive impact on the planet. Imagine if everyone in your school or community made a conscious effort to conserve energy, reduce waste, and make sustainable choices. It would create a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same. Remember, we're all in this together. We need to support each other and work collaboratively to protect our planet. Don't underestimate the power of your actions. Even small changes can make a big difference when it comes to combating climate change and protecting our planet's future. Section 9, Our Future, Our Responsibility, a call to action. The ice melt disaster is a serious threat to our planet and our future. But it's not a lost cause. We still have time to act. But we need to act now. We need to come together as a global community and demand action from our leaders to address climate change. It's our planet, and it's our responsibility to protect it. Let's be the generation that turns the tide on climate change. Let's be the generation that saves the ice, the oceans, and the planet for future generations. The future is in our hands. Let's make it a bright one.